Hello, all you beautiful kings and queens out there. Welcome back to my channel. It's Brianna Janae. How you doing? What's up? Today's topic. Let's just jump right into it without all the formal introductions and stuff. I want to address saying no. Why isn't that a normal thing? Like, why aren't we taught to say no? Why are we taught that setting boundaries and doing things that satisfy ourselves and being selfish and taking care of ourselves first, why are we taught that that's a bad thing? Like, I feel like that really does need to be changed. And I feel like I'm truly grateful for, like, I would say maybe my generation and on, because like we've definitely like questioned and like stood up and stood against all these things that our parents and parents have, all the generations before us have continued to do and just like blindly followed. You know, no shade against them or anything, but like it's time for a change, I really feel like. And I really do wish like that, you know I can't change the past. You should not fantasize about wanting to change the past because that was your journey and that's what you needed to go through. But how I deal with it would be to grow up in a household where, like you can put your boundaries up. You can say no if it's something that you don't want to do, or not being guilt tripped by family or people you care about for them to get you to do what they want you to do. And I feel like that's really fucked up. But that's the life we live in. It's unfortunate. Just going back, like everyone, well, not everyone, but if you've been watching my videos, like I've been kind of introducing you guys to a little bit of my story and some of the traumas that I've been through in my life. It's not a lot I have shared with you guys, but it's just a little touch of it. I would say the first process of me healing was like recognizing things, but also like learning to say no. My family definitely like guilt tripped and taught me to feel bad for wanting to do things for myself, or like that's disrespectful if you don't want to help someone else, or you're so tired to the point where it's like you can't give anymore, but yet, oh, you're a bad person if you give up and you don't push past your tiredness and your hurt and your pain to sit here and give up everything for someone else, whether it's family or not. I feel like that's a very messed up concept to teach a child to even continue to do that as an adult. Like, at one point, at what point does it give? Like, at what point do you respect yourself enough to not keep giving all of yourself to someone else when they don't even appreciate you? And even if they did appreciate you, then they would tell you to say, they wouldn't put you in a circumstance where you had to give so much of yourself and pass boundaries that you would typically set for yourself to do something for them because they care about you. And it's like, I feel like that is such a concept that needs to be questioned. Like, what made you decide to teach me that? Like, why did you feel like that was okay? Like, you experienced this as a kid, I'm sure, possibly. I can't say for sure because everybody's story is different, but there's times where as a kid, there's things you didn't want to do, or you were too tired, or even as an adult, let's say, you've been put in circumstances where that accepting this task or idea or thing from someone else was going to put you in a space where you couldn't take, like, you didn't have the capacity to fully commit or do that process, but without like having to like overextend yourself, let's say that. Why do you feel the need to say yes to that? Like, why do we continue to disrespect ourselves? Why are we taught to disrespect ourselves? I feel like that's like, I'm really at a point is like, why? Like, just questioning everything. And I feel like that's truly the the first step, one of the worst, not the worst, it's actually the best. One of the steps to healing and reclaiming your power and setting boundaries and things like that. And honestly, truly respecting and loving yourself. And I feel like this is such, like, I'm for sure going to be teaching this concept to, if I have kids, when I have kids, whatever, when divine timing, that's all I'm worried about. But, like, teaching them that it's okay to say no. If you don't want to do something, then that's okay, you know? And if you know that if you're tired and you say, hey, like, nope, I don't feel like doing the dishes, say I don't feel like doing the laundry, or let's say, hey, I want you to go and do this extra project or help such and such out because they need your help. Well, today I had practice, I had this, I had that, and it really drained me. I don't feel like doing it. That's past my limit. I have a limit, and that's past my limit. And just allowing them to set healthy boundaries for themselves, to respect themselves. And I really hate the concept of like, oh, a kid is a kid. They don't have any rights, or they don't know what's best for themselves. But it's like that, in an aspect that could be true, but why teach them to continue to do the things that you know aren't good for you and you know take so much out of you? Like, why do you keep passing that generational cycle on and on and on, knowing that it didn't work for you? You know, like, I just don't understand why people do that. And I just feel like I feel very lucky to have put in a place. I won't say put, but just like always question things, always had a different thought. I've never like wanted to go with the crowd. I've always wanted to stand out and be different, and not stand out. I very much don't like to stand out, but to just be different. I've always wanted to be different. I never wanted to be like everybody else. And I'm truly grateful for that, having that attribute within myself, because it's definitely got me to the point where I'm at now. And I'm glad that I question things. I'm glad that I stand up for things that I believe in. And, you know, at first, because of the many years of my family, you know, implementing and teaching me things from such a young age, it took me a while to rebel against that. But I had my moments. But in the end, I got to the point, like, I strategically, in my timing, not my timing, but let's say, like, when I was a teenager, I got to a point where I was so, like, low in my life. And I sent out a prayer to God, and I asked him to put someone in my life, and he did that. And, you know, as you guys don't know, but that person that I prayed for he's not my husband, but I truly my boyfriend. Feel like at that moment in time, I know, like, I had a rough time in my past story about God. Just a quick side note. You know, like, I was a period where I hated and stuff like that. But I truly feel like now that I'm into spirituality and stuff like that, I truly feel like that was a time where, like, I truly manifested my husband into my life. A lot of people may not understand that, but that's a whole other story to get into. But I truly feel like at that point in time, like, I manifested him into my life because, like, I had intention behind it. I was journaling and scripting it, and, like, I was truly in my heart, like, longing for it. I know some people say, like, the more you want, the more attached you are, and the more you want it, the more it'll push away. But I don't know, like, just the period of time I was in my life, that is, I feel like what I manifested was my boyfriend, who is now my husband. He truly, like, helped me stand up for myself and stand up to begin to respect myself. And at that moment in time, I didn't see it as self-love. I didn't see it as, like, self-respect or, like, setting boundaries, but I just seen it as, like, if I keep going like this, I'm like, what is going to happen to me? Like, this isn't beneficial for me, and it's not gonna get any better if I keep going this way, and it's just gonna keep taking away from me and taking away from me and taking away from me, as well as hurting myself. But then it got to the point where it was going to start affecting my relationship, and my relationship was something that I really cared about. So, you know, in all honesty, it shouldn't have been the reason, because it should have just been the reason for myself. But my relationship was kind of what drove me to that point. It's like, okay, you're getting in the way of my relationship. You can't do that no more. And it was also partially like me knowing that I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, like I have no more to give, and you just want to keep taking and taking and taking. But once I knew, like, okay, it's affecting my relationship too, nope, can't do it no more. I gotta say no. I have to put my foot down. Like, this is not okay anymore. And the whole guilt tripping thing, like, that took me a while to really get over and like detach from it. Because it's like, I don't want to not have the feeling of not feeling bad. Like, I don't want to have the loss of emotion, but I want to like understand that I have that emotion, but still know and stand firm and deciding what is best for me. And ultimately, like, saying no and rebelling in those moments, like, just took me to a whole new level. It took me a while, but like more recently, now that I've been like really emphasizing like self-love and like standing up for myself and respecting myself first, putting me first, because that's really all that matters at the end of the day, because all you have is yourself at the end of the day. Like, that's who you came into this world with, it was yourself, and that's who you're gonna go out with, is yourself. You know, you will have people around you possibly, but the one main person that's gonna be there without a shadow of a doubt is you. So like, I've just been in a like very heavy place of like, oh, that doesn't sit right with me, I'm cutting it off. I don't like that person, I don't want to be in their presence, or I don't want them to be in my presence, therefore that needs to be cut off. Oh, you need me to do this because you're tired or you can't. Well, I'm tired too, I have something going on. No. At work, if they're asking me to do something and I know like that's out of something that I'm doing, or I have something else to do, and like that's literally my capacity, no, I cannot take extra time to do that. No, I cannot put in more time or more effort into a task because you need help. I'm sorry, you may need help, but you're gonna have to figure that out, because at the end of the day, that was your task to complete, not mine. So if you want to be mad at me for saying no and standing up for putting up a boundary with the limitations that I have, that's on you. But at the end of the day, I'm respecting myself, and that's all I'm going to continue to do. And I really feel like that really should be taught to us as kids. Like that should be one of the traits that are instilled in kids, so that we don't have adults running around this world feeling like they feel bad for saying no to someone because they can't do something, or feeling bad that if they say no, just because simply even if they just don't want to do it, that if they say no, that other person will be mad and upset with them and don't want to talk to them anymore, and then that makes them like feel guilty and just want to say yes. Like, no, you're a whole adult. You're a whole person paying bills and having responsibilities. Why are you feeling bad because someone else or another adult is upset at you for you saying no? Like, we're not kids anymore. We're not teenagers. Like, you need to get over that. You've grown to a certain point. So, like, it's time to stand up and realize, like, hey, no, I'm saying no. That's the answer. And that's final. And you could try to guilt trip me, make me feel bad. Oh, wow, that's messed up. Well, I'm going to just have to be messed up. Well, I'm going to have to be that bitch. Well, I'm going to have to, oh, you don't care? Well, if you feel like I don't care, then I guess I don't care to you. I know how I feel in my heart, and I know my true feelings and my true intentions. And if you think that me saying no gets rid of that, that's on you. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know the reason why I'm saying no. And if you don't understand that and get that, then you obviously don't appreciate me. And you obviously have some lack or you have some lack of love for me, because you should want the best for me. You should want me to be happy and not feel so drained and tired out trying to do stuff for you. But it's like, oh, if I'm not doing that for you, then it's not okay. Or you're trying to make me feel bad or guilt trip me. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. And like, you can even ask my husband, like, I've recently, like, I won't say like, it could come off that I'm being mean, because people are too sensitive to bluntness and people being honest. But like, that's really the trip that I've been on, and I've been feeling damn good about it, because like, I'm being decisive. I used to always call myself like the indecisive person. Like, I'm always indecisive. I don't know what I want. And I'm still deciding and figuring out things that I want, and that's okay. But like, I'm standing firm in the decision that I make. So the first decision that I make, if I know that it feels right with me, that's a decision that I'm going with. I'm not gonna guilt trip myself into making another decision because I feel like, oh wait, that's too mean, or oh my gosh, well maybe that doesn't help for other people, you know. And you have to be careful too, because I didn't even talk about that part, because like, you growing up and being taught those things, you can also begin to do that within yourself, and the way you talk to yourself and the way you treat yourself becomes that way, and you don't want that. That's really toxic. And just a simple word, like, it's 2 letters, N-O. Just say no. And we are taught, like, just saying that is so hard, and it has so much like negative emotion behind it, and like guilt and shame and fear behind that word. It's so crazy. And like, I'm just here to challenge that. Like, no, that shouldn't be the stigma behind the word no anymore. Like, the word behind this, the definition behind the word no should be like, no means no first and foremost, but no also means that you are setting your boundaries as a form of self-respect, and I respect you enough and love you enough to accept your answer, because you are let's say you are doing what you need for you. And that's point blank period. And that's on that, really, honestly. And a lot of people need to get that and receive that. And I just wish people had more common sense. And I wish more people question things and then just blindly follow. I honestly wish that, like, to help people question those things that they don't really, that they're just like, oh, that's just the normal. Like, I have to be that way. Or like, you know, no one else does it different. I'm here to give you a new perspective and a new understanding, and to let you into like a part of my journey, but then also the things that I've learned, and like helping other people just gain a new understanding. And it's like, no, everything doesn't have to be that way. Everything is not black and white. There's a lot of gray area, and I'm here to show everybody that gray area. So that's another short one today. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share this video. Share. That definitely will help me out. Leave a comment if you feel like you can relate, or maybe just a general basis of your story about saying no. Does it make you fearful? Do you feel shame, or are you standing in your stuff? Like, nope, no is no, and that's it. Let me know, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.